Let's go.
Hi, Kat Chancellor here with Stamp Art Connection and StampArtConnection.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I want to demonstrate some products that came out in March as the online exclusives. Now, every other month, they have online exclusives that come out, and I really like the selection. Right now, these are available, and I just wanted to show you that I'm focusing on this suite right here, and it is called the Homemade Sweetness Collection. And what is included with this suite are these really cute little strawberry dots. So there's strawberries and there's little dots, and I believe this is strawberry slush is the color. You also get the dies and a stamp set and this beautiful paper. Now I have used this paper. Paper has this wonderful pattern of spoons and then some pretty hearts, this wonderful blue gingham, and some wonderful flirty flamingo, and you can see the little ladybugs. And the fruit, since this is about filled with sweetness and lots of fruit preserves, this wonderful checker pattern, and then a wonderful floral on the background. The colors that this features are Calypso Coral, Crushed Curry, Granny Apple Green, Misty Moonlight, Secret Sea, and Strawberry Slush. I also loved this page that just has all these wonderful little images of preserves, lemon curd, strawberry preserves, and a wonderful little honey bear. The stamps that include a jar stamp for the outline and then some wonderful little sayings. Love You Very Much is one of my favorites because that was kind of something that my grandmother used to always tell us. So I'm making some cards for my cousins and my sister. Homemade for you, thank you. And then these cute little blueberries and strawberries. The dies include the shape that will allow you to cut a card the shape of your preserve jar. Show you that I started out with making a very simple card, very simple, using that pretty gingham patterned paper, and I just cut out some of the little berries from the DSP, and then you open it up, and I went ahead and I cut the inside, and then I stamped these little berries, blueberries here, and I used Misty Moonlight to go ahead and color them. So that was my first try. My second card took some strawberry slush paper, and if you can see, I went ahead and I stamped the fruit inside the jar. How I did that is I used some masking, and I'll show you that technique, and then again it was just a very plain card on the inside. Then I decided that I wanted to do something and kind of step it up. So same concept, I stamped the fruit on the inside, but I added a piece of acetate that had the jar shape stamped so that it looked like a jar, and I did the label, and then there it was, and then I stamped some fruit on the inside. So that was my third attempt. The card that we're going to make today is basically going to be a variation on the same theme. I'm just stepping it up. We're going to use some acetate, and we're going to stamp the shape. Then you're going to open up the acetate, and you can see inside the jar is going to be all the wonderful little berries, and I'll show you how to do that. I did a label both on the inside and the outside, and you can see how pretty the paper shows this pattern, but then you open it up and it shows the pattern there. Then we open it up one more time, and we're going to have like a three-fold card where we can put some additional sentiments on the inside. And then on the outside, I added the back of the jar, and I just put some fruit and colored those with my stamping blends, and then I added a checked cover right there. So this is going to be the card we're going to put together. It's going to combine all the techniques that if you don't want to put this card together, you can go ahead and use the techniques to just simply make a one-fold card, much like this one, but I really wanted to have fun and push this collection to the limit. Finally, I just want to show you that this was the other card I made where I cut out all the little preserve images and put that on this wonderful little DSP. I found this little checkered ribbon, and as you can see, I added the little bumblebee to the top of my card because they did not have the ladybug from another suite that I wanted to use, so I just used that, and that is just another very simple card. So there you go. These are the cards that you can make with this collection from the online exclusive that are available now. So let's get started. Okay, to put this card together, you're going to need your outline die, and I've already cut one piece here, and that's going to serve kind of as our base card, as well as a piece in this strawberry slush, because we're going to stamp the strawberries, and that's going to go, basically it's going to go on this side here. And finally, I may need another piece that's going to go on the back, so I just have this piece here. So it's these two pieces, this piece, that piece. And then I'm going to need some acetate that we're going to cut our jar shape. But before we cut that, we're going to have to stamp it using some StazOn ink. Now I will tell you, I did get the new hybrid stamp pad, and I tried it on the acetate and it smeared. So I'll have to try it again, and I don't know if I didn't wait long enough for it to dry, but I went ahead and pulled in my StazOn because I know that won't fail me. I'm also going to need a piece, and this will be a couple of pieces, and they're about 6 by 2, and this is going to be for this die, which is going to be our little cover. And because I'm using this pink piece, I think I want to kind of change it up and use that floral piece. So I'm going to cut that. I'll need another piece because I'm going to want one for the back. I'm also going to pull in these dies here, and this is going to be cut using some basic white because this is going to be kind of the little string piece that goes along the top, and you're going to cut two. You're going to cut one for the front as well as the bow, and then you're just going to cut one for the back there. Okay, I'm going to show you the technique I'm using to create my jar full of strawberries. So I'm going to take my paper, and I'm going to grab my stamp. Let me show you this, what I'm trying to use for my stamps. This is from Stamping Storage, and it's called a stamp card, and it's 5 by 8.5, and it fits perfectly in these new envelopes. It has some protective plastic on either side of it, but what I've done is I went ahead and put my stamps on this nice large piece of plastic rather than these small pieces, so that I kind of spread them out a little bit. And then you can see that I took a Sharpie and I outlined so that I will know if I have lost a stamp. So I'm going to need that stamp, and I'm also going to need my strawberry stamp, and that way I know where they go and I know if I've lost one. Now I used a large Sharpie for this, and I've ordered some very thin Sharpies because when I did do the outline, I did get some of my photopolymer stamps. It's not a big deal, but if it bothers you, then I would recommend getting a thinner Sharpie. I do have some on the order, but I just wanted to kind of try this technique out first. I liked it, so I'm going to go ahead and do it for all my stamp sets, and I think it's going to help me stay organized. Now I've got my strawberry stamp, and I'm just going to go ahead and put that here. I've created some masks using, and this is just some very simple Post-it notes, and these are Post-it notes that are super sticky, and they have the stickiness all the way across them. So I basically just took, and I'm going to use my new stamp pad, and I just basically, you know, just kind of just stamped a couple of strawberries there. And then, and this actually, that ink actually cleans up pretty well with just stamping scrub there. And I just take this piece here, and I'm just going to cut that out. Okay, so now I just kind of have three images, and they're sticky on the other side. So what I want to do is I want to grab my strawberry slush, and this is one of the newer ones, but let me show you. I just have to show you. I've got my new ink pads from the new catalog, and these are, I just have to show you this because I was just really excited about it. These are magnetic click. Look at that. They're just, look how easy that is. So here's your ink, and then it just clicks. So as I get older, my hands get a little less dexterous, and this was a great improvement over this. Remember these? So that was kind of the original ones. Then they came up with this design, which was an improvement, but I just didn't even bother sliding that in. I would just kind of leave it like this. And then finally they've come up with this magnetic design, which I think is just the bomb. I love this. Okay, so just wanted to show you that. Now this is my strawberry slush DSP. Just going to move in a little bit more, and I'm just going to take my strawberry, and I'm just going to go ahead, and I can kind of just lay it right next to each other here, and it doesn't have to go completely to the end. Now I want to cover this one because I can tell this is going to go over that just a little bit. Okay, and then I can cover this one right there, and if I want, I can cover, go ahead, sometimes these stick right here. I can cover this one here, and then I can go ahead and stamp this, this, that. Okay, now hopefully you can begin to see how I'm kind of going to be building my strawberries as I go up. So every time I do that, let me remove, and you see how nice that looks. So I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to re-add my strawberries here on my next row. And again, they don't need to go all the way to the edge. They just need to stay within the middle. And I'm just going to do this again. Okay, and this is going to be my final row up here. So we're just going to lift these up, and we're just going to place them up the next row so we can go ahead and stamp our next row. Okay, and then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to, you know, stamp here, stamp there, and stamp it. Okay, very delicately kind of lift my and then look how pretty we have this wonderful jar of strawberries that's going to go on our card. Okay, all filled up with fruit. So we're going to stamp. Our acetate is going to have one of these stamped on it, and it should be, the acetate should be wide enough that it will take this form right here, and you can see it does perfectly take that form. So I want to make sure that my image is right there to the edge. Now, I don't have a stamping positioners. I still rely on my Stamparatus. Open this up and put my magnets down, and this is just to show where my die is going to go right there. I want to make sure that this is placed right about there. Okay, and then I'm going to pick this up with my plate, and there you go. That should be like that. And then I want to make sure that I have my magnets, and if I need other magnets, I do have some other magnets here that I can use, because I want to make sure that everything is basically right up to the edge here and it's not going to move. Okay, there we go. I have a nice image there. Okay, so that is now stamped. So we're going to lay this right like that. Okay, and we're going to run this through the cutter. Okay. And there is our acetate. Okay, so there is this piece. So this goes here, and we're going to put this piece here. So we're going to have to fold this right along that crease right there. That's going to go right there. So we're going to open that, and this is going to have to go right there like that. So we're going to open that, and then we're going to put this piece is going to go right here. So there you see we have our strawberries are in there, and you open this, and there's our strawberries. Now this part here is the lip of this stamp here. So all I'm going to do, it should really go like this, but I'm going to clean this edge. So we're just going to do you can see I have have ink, I don't want ink there. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and ink this. And there we go. I can just grab one of my markers and just kind of darken that up. Just a little bit. So let's go ahead and put that right here. And I want to make sure that I'm going to hit right there at that edge. It's just really important that I kind of get right there on that edge, because when we glue this here, we're going to want to make sure that this paper doesn't get involved with that, okay? Because we're going to grab this piece here and I'm going to stamp that. We're going to stamp basic gray right there we go. We have basic gray right there. Again, we're going to take our basic gray, our strawberry stamp, okay, so these are our strawberries that are inside our jar. I don't have strawberry slush, so I am going to use, I have real red, so here's my strawberry slush. So I have real red that I can use, which I think I'm just going to use real red. So I'm going to take my light real red, and then I want a granny apple green. So I'm going to start with my light granny apple green. I'm going to take a crumb cake, it's light crumb cake, and I'm going to go around my strawberries like that. And what that does is it just kind of gives it, you see my strawberries kind of line right there. There we go, that's the back. So we have this piece here, and we're going to attach this to the back of that. Now it's going to be the back of our card, and this is going to be the front of our card. So we can just go ahead and attach . Okay, and this is going to go to the back. Now the way we attach that is we're going to use some tear tape and some dots. Now, if you have any doubt about a piece that may be popping up, that's where you can take a dot like this. Let's grab a dot. And you can just add that right here to the back, just to make sure, there it is, that it just kind of stays. Okay, so now we turn this around and we have that. Okay, there's the front of our card. Now you can see this is a little bit over, but we're going to trim that at the end. We'll just trim it now that we have all the pieces in. So now for this front here, we're going to need 2 pieces of this, and we're gonna use this paper here to cut out our little tops, and in basic white we're going to cut out 2 of these and 1 of these, and that's going to be our ribbon at the top. This one needs to go over here, but look, I made a mistake. Now I just want to show you something. If you cut this exactly like this, then when you try to put this on the back, it's not going to match. It's going to be off. You see how it's off? So you have to cut it upside down. You have to cut it on this side, so that when you open it up, okay, it's going to fit perfectly now right there. That, okay, so now that both sides match. There you go. So these match now. See? And now I'm going to add these pieces here. That. Now we are going to put a sentiment right here. Okay, so here we are. Here I made just an simple open card, the same techniques that I've just shown you. You can make this card, but I took it the next level, creating this card. This is a 4.5 by 4.5 square envelope that I cut out of the DSP, and this is a trifold card. And then I did the same thing. I made a 4.5 by 4.5 envelope for this one, which is the one that we just completed, using the strawberry stamps. You can see all the luscious little strawberries, using the wonderful little strawberry embellishments. And then on the back, we just kind of filled this up with strawberries and blueberries for a wonderful card to be sent to anyone. And all of this using the Filled with Sweetness collection. I hope that you've really enjoyed my video. I hope this inspires you to check out these wonderful products. These are online exclusives available now. If you haven't already, please hit like. All products are available on my online store. There will be a link. Go to my blog for details. And if you're looking for a demo, please consider joining my team, or just consider joining under me as a hobbyist for $99 to enjoy a 20% discount. The new catalog is out, available beginning in May. If you need a catalog, go ahead and give me a call or send me a note, send me an email. But if you sign up under me, you will get this absolutely for free. I want to just bring to your attention that as the new in colors are being introduced with this new catalog, they will include these wonderful magnetic containers that are just, they're just wonderful to hold and wonderful to work with. Filming this the day before Easter, so have a happy Easter. And don't forget, if you are a demo and you like my content, please hit like, share, and leave a comment. It helps my channel. This is Kat Chancellor with Stamp Art Connection and StampArtConnection.com. I wish you a wonderful holiday and happy stamping.